Hey everybody, it's Dana from the Semen Retention and No Fap channel. If you're looking for the answer to how semen retention can boost your masculine energy, then you're in the right place. I'm about to reveal some easy ways to boost your masculine energy with semen retention without having to bring this information together yourself or having to spend a lot of time or money. So I understand that having low masculine energy can be very frustrating as you may be experiencing too much indecisiveness and not enough action and wonder why you lack the motivation to take action. But don't worry because today I'm going to share with you how semen retention can boost your masculine energy. So masculine energy is an action-based energy that is more focused on doing rather than being. The divine masculine energy can be seen as the universal fatherhood, and the universal divine motherhood can be seen as the feminine energy. So the masculine energy focuses more on things like structure, logic, reason, and is attributed to taking charge. So additional attributes of masculine energy are, but not limited to, confidence, assertiveness, standing up for yourself, as well as having something that you fight for. In contrast, the divine feminine energy is associated with being more willing to compromise and being more submissive and passive. So, when it comes to things like setting boundaries or fighting for a worthy cause, it is the masculine energy that we need to draw strength from. This drawing of strength applies to emotional situations as well. There is a warrior within us all that our masculine energy has a profound connection to. So the masculine energy can be seen more as a giving energy, one that will go out and do, has adventures, makes change in the world, speaks our mind, and takes risks. This energy is also associated with things like critical thinking and logical thinking, whereas feminine energy is associated more with things that are internal and relative in nature and reflective in nature. Excuse me. So here's a list compiled of the attributes related to masculine energy. You have risk taking, assertiveness, action oriented, discipline, sets strong boundaries, confident, objective, meaning to be free from bias, logical and analytical, has a warrior mindset, the yang energy of the yin and yang energy, and a survivor. So, next we're going to talk about the contrast between the feminine and the masculine energy. So, before we continue, I want to reiterate the point that both men and women have access to both energy, both the masculine and the feminine energies. Although the masculine and feminine energies are different, both are needed for balance, and that balance is best represented by the symbol of the yin and the yang. And an imbalance in the direction of the feminine energy can lead one to be too passive and result in a lack of action. On the flip side, war and an unbalanced domination are the result of an imbalance of the masculine energy. So, balance between the two forces is the goal, and leadership is a great place to observe the workings of the two energies in play. So, leadership is mostly a masculine trait. So, how does one express the masculine energy while at the same time honoring the feminine energy that has compassion and takes into consideration the needs of their subordinates, as well as one of the primary objectives uh, of their leadership? So balance is subjective, of course, being that everyone's situation is different. So different levels of each energy need be expressed on a situational basis. So for some people leaning towards a degree further away from balance in either direction may work for some. Basically, the idea of balance is not a cookie cutter concept in which everyone needs perfect balance between the two. So now we will go into 7 ways to draw upon this masculine energy, and in the end, we will tie semen retention into all of this. So number one, affirmations. The to activate masculine energy, Speaking affirmations, listening to them, reading them, having an audio playing in your ears while you sleep are all good ways to use affirmations to shift your mindset in a desired direction of masculine energy. One simple way to achieve this is to think of some of the traits that are associated with the energy and affirm that you are them. And it's best to put your affirmations in the present tense so as your subconscious does not know the difference between real and fake, and it will hear you and think that you are those things now and start to gradually bring them into your current reality. So here are for you to get you started. I'm a warrior. I'm disciplined. My vision is clear and I see things objectively. I'm confident. I know when to take action and I take action with confidence. So those are just a few examples to get you started. Number 2 is taking risk confidently. So the divine masculine energy is what's required to take risk in this world. This energy does not shy away from risk, but rather it embraces an opportunity to win. For example, you may have a lot of great ideas that are waiting to be implemented. Drawing on this energy will help you put those ideas into action. So start on a small level and take risks that stretch you but are not too far outside of your comfort zone. However, make sure they are outside of your comfort zone, otherwise it wouldn't be a risk. So you will build in confidence over time and start to take bigger and bigger risks, which inevitably lead to more reward. And sometimes the risks do backfire. However, your ability to recover will become stronger the more you do it, and this is why I suggest starting small. Remaining unattached to the goal is key here, and attaching to the role is paramount. So if the goal is to be successful, a successful producer, for example, set the goal and start producing. The role is what will take you there. So number 3, start now. We have a tendency to wait until the right time to start something. So timing is definitely has its place, but too often is used as an excuse not to start. We will often blame circumstances, money, time, resources, all as an excuse why we can't start something. So these are all excessive feminine energies at work. This can leave us stagnant and indecisive. So if you are in doubt, do something to take you in your desired direction. So we can accomplish this by being assertive and maintaining our integrity of who we are at our core. Additionally, being confident when you move will only make your moves that much more effective. So number 4 involves examples of masculinity. So we have patterns in our life that we often repeat. These patterns include areas we are strong in as well as areas we are not so strong in. So figure out those areas you want to work on and bring the knowledge from the masculine figures or the archetypes or the deities into the mix, whether that be your masculinity coach or the Buddha or the warrior archetype from Jung's philosophy. Find one that has the lesson you want to learn and seek guidance from them. And be sure to stay true to yourself while integrating the energies. So number 5, get out of your head and take action. So this is where those ideas in your head come into play. Those ideas are all potential, and if never released into the world in the form of action, are just ideas and potential. That's all they are. Timing is a factor, and a feminine energy may come into play here to help balance this, and that is the use of your intuition. The use of your intuition is a feminine trait to help you make the best decision for you. However, do be aware that when you are stuck in a paralysis of analysis, that is a imbalance of the feminine energy, and you need to balance that out with the masculine energy by simply just taking action. So number 6, heal the relationship with the masculine energy from your past. So if you've ever had negative experiences with men in your past, this could be a significant factor in the way you associate with the masculine energy in your present. So healing from those negative experiences can help you start to create a positive experience with the masculine energy. So these negative experiences could have been with men you associated with your father, or possibly some uncalled or uncalled for aggression that resulted in some sort of trauma. So what you want to do is to begin to form your own idea of what masculinity looks like to you, possibly from those models we talked about before. Then you can start to integrate those ideas into your life. So number 7, set boundaries. So passivity is a part of feminine energy that is useful. However, in situations that require you to stand up for yourself or speak up for yourself or even defend yourself physically, you need to draw on your masculine energy at these times. So most of the time, this includes stepping on someone's toes. However, it's usually one or the other, your toes or their toes, and it's better theirs than yours, especially when they're crossing boundaries. So we're not seeking to cause harm to anyone. We are simply making a stand because when we don't, we actually cause harm to ourselves. So you will have to stand up for yourself, and when those times call, draw upon your masculine energy to make it happen. So how does all of this tie into semen retention? So what we're going to do to make this connection is we're just going to look at all of the tips that I just gave you above and relate it to the benefits of semen retention. So number 1, affirmations, right? We talked about how affirmations can help cultivate the masculine energy, right? So you can make the relation to semen retention from the affirmations related to the masculine energy to see that correlation. So when you use the affirmation of being a warrior, some of the greatest warriors of our time, past and present, practice semen retention to dominate in their fields. And just using a simple example from the boxing world, we can look at people like Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson, who often retain during their careers. And of course, you all know who they are. You know the results that they've gotten from doing that, right? So let's use one more example. Masculine energy is related to self-discipline. So when you use the affirmation of I am self-disciplined, you are in a direct connection with semen retention, because the very act of retaining requires self-discipline, especially if you are retaining while having sex. Being in some good kitty while not nutting requires immense discipline. Number 2, taking risks. So taking risks requires confidence to some degree. Retaining builds your confidence in a multitude of ways, from the standpoint of an increase in testosterone, which is a key factor in confidence, to self-discipline, leading to your being in more control of yourself, boosting your confidence as well. So all this confidence boosting related to retention assists you in taking risks. Number 3, starting where you are. One of the best ways to start where you are can be through retaining. It requires very little as far as resources. Plus, you can start with it as little as 7 days. This starting where you are gives you confidence to start other things where you are and can produce a domino effect. So number 4, working with masculine archetypes. We've named a few examples of masculine archetypes in the boxing world. You can see the results from these men and apply them to your life and get similar results. You can also use examples of men who retain while having sex to get a more well-rounded view of retention. So number 5, less internalization and more action. So once again, retaining requires very little moving parts, except maybe in the case of, you have porn addiction. So even so, put your retention into action by first making a plan of action and following through. Something as simple as 7 days is manageable for everyone. Plus, you can start immediately with a very little lifestyle change. Number 6, heal your relationships with the masculine energy. So remember, I mentioned men in your past, but we're still talking about masculine energy. So your semen contains masculine energy. And one way to heal that energy, if you've been spilling in excess for a long period of time, is simply to retain it for a period of time, to rebuild your masculine energy reserve so that you can start to exude and expand the energy outwards. Number 7, finally, set boundaries or stand up for yourself. So setting boundaries comes from having confidence in yourself. Semen retention boosts your testosterone, which boosts your confidence, which helps you set strong boundaries. You can see the connections here. So the most important boundary you can set is on yourself. You draw the line in how your sexual energy will be utilized. You make it your goal to control your urges instead of your urges controlling you. You draw the line to the types of videos you'll be watched. You draw the line to the type of person you want to be, and you stand your ground. The greatest boundary you can set is on yourself. So, in conclusion, in today's age, what is masculine and feminine is very misunderstood for the most part. So, even to those who understand, there's always more we can learn about this energy. So, in conclusion, we need balance between our yin and our yang energy. So, if you're interested in discovering more about semen retention and NoFap, then be sure to check out the book, The Semen Retention Miracle, at the first link in the description. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos helping you with semen retention and NoFap and more. And check out this playlist of my top 10 videos of semen retention and NoFap, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.